Change is the only constant. It's a paradox, right? Change is part of the fabric of the universe, drives its very existence, and also its constant reinvention. Change can be a paradox for humans as well. We finding it disorienting and scary, we may resist it, yet we're constantly its agents. Change is at the heart of the mechanics of the universe, from the micro to the macro level. Chemical and physical reactions shape the world we live in. And in one human body, 37 billion trillion, yes, that's the number, biochemical reactions take place every second. The biological world runs on change. Energy and matter flow from one organism to another, powered by the sun. Atoms are continuously transformed, transferred, and recycled as they go through organisms, as they grow, consume, excrete, and decompose. Fundamental laws of physics state that neither mass nor energy can be created or destroyed, only changed. Energy is transformed from one form to another, and matter rearranged in space. We are stardust, just changed and rearranged. So while change is at the cornerstone of the functioning of the universe, it's challenging for us. Watching the changes in my children has been a journey of extreme joy and also heartache. While I cherish the men they've become, I miss every little person they were along the way. Why are changes so hard for parents to witness? It's equally difficult to watch the changes in myself. Anyone in the room middle age, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. What we see in the mirror can challenge our residual self-image, or the image we hold of ourselves in our minds. So while we may gain wisdom from the experience of our lives lived, we still are surprised that our body is changing. Change can affect communities on the local level. It can feel like an affront to the world we know, and we may wonder, is this going to be a positive change in our lives? I apologize if this slide is triggering anyone right now. If you don't recognize it, it's I-26, maybe or not. We don't know. And seriously, change can be an existential threat. While we persevere to slow climate change and preserve habitat and species, climate change is not going away. And our fears around this may stem from that it's so out of our personal control. Neuroscientists believe that when changes occur in our lives, our instinct is to resist the uncertainty and try to resolve it. This can give rise to mental spirals, which are just our way of showing that we can't control something in our lives. So change is challenging personally. Yet recent history shows we're actually pretty good at it. Consider technology. It continues to change and mostly improve lives for humans on the planet. But also consider this. This slide is an AI-generated image, something you've heard a lot about tonight. And AI is changing our world in ways that we can't even imagine yet. Sure. Consider artists. They are at the forefront of change. Musician John Cage famously said, "I can't understand why people are frightened of new ideas. I'm frightened of the old ones." Cage had an itch to try new things. He was part of the avant-garde, which means introducing experimental or unusual ideas. And oftentimes that is not widely accepted. For example, the term Impressionism was actually coined by an art critic as an insult to the French artists in the 1870s and 80s, whose new techniques challenged traditional artistic conventions. Eventually, the world came around to seeing this as fresh and exciting because it's not only the world that changes, but our perspectives of it as well. And consider social change. Article 5 lays out that in order for the Constitution to have any longevity, it needed to allow for change. And change it did. So the dichotomy of change. We don't like it, but we're actually good at it. So let's go back further in time to see how our evolutionary journey can explain this. A familiar, unchanged landscape is one where we could find the most resources. For our ancestors, like this Homo ergaster group from 1.6 million years ago, knowing a place and its ability to provide us with food, water, and resources meant that they had a better chance of surviving and passing on their genes. And throughout evolutionary history, the ability to perceive changes in the environment meant you could avoid becoming prey yourself. An attack from a saber-toothed cat like this Smilodon fatalis was only one of many threats facing prehistoric humans. Fear of change might just have kept us safe. But as time progressed, Evolution favored traits that set us up to be agents of change. As long as 400,000 years ago, like this group from Amada, France, we lived in complex social groups, working together to create, build, adapt to, and alter, change, the environments in which we lived. And as our intellectual capacities increased, our ability to adapt to changing environments set our species up to inhabit every single corner of the planet. Examples from the fossil record, like remains from this Homo sapiens group from Europe 45,000 years ago, show that Homo sapiens were able to use their large brains to navigate long-distance travel, adapt to the new environments, new native flora and fauna, and think their way through arduous journeys. Evidence from the Pacific shows that Paleolithic humans had the imagination and courage to deliberately cross the seas and the adaptability to survive once they got there. It seemed that our unique human qualities allowed us to overcome our fear of change. So this is what I try to remember. We are change makers. So let's drive change in the direction of justice, all kinds. We cannot stop change, but we can move beyond our ancestral fear in favor of our human adaptability and our ability to work together. Change is hard, but we persevere. And let's see change in its dichotomous and paradoxical nature as a challenge and an opportunity. If we can focus our attention on positive adaptations, creative solutions, and working together, not only may we be happier, but we may change ourselves and the world for the better. Thank you.